Hello everyone, very good afternoon to all. On the behalf of Sinhgad Institute of Pharmacy, I, Ms. Trupti Tated, Assistant Professor, welcome you for this session. I welcome you, respected Dr. Amol Tapallevar Sir, Associate Professor at Sinhgad Institute of Pharmacy, Pune. Respected resource person, Dr. Shitalkumar Zambad Sir, and all the participants for this second last, that is session 6 of this 3 days webinar series on advances in pharmaceutical research organized by Sinhgad Institute of Pharmacy, Pune. Now I request Anaga Saundarkar ma'am to introduce our resource person, Dr. Shitalkumar Zambad Sir.
Ma'am. Hello everyone. Good afternoon one and all present here. I welcome all of you in today's webinar on behalf of Sinhgad Institute of Pharmacy, Narhe. Today, it is pleasure for me to introduce our speaker, Dr. Shitalkumar Zambad Sir. Sir completed his M.Pharm and PhD in Pharmacology Department. Sir is founder director at Thincr Technologies India Private Limited. In 2002 to 2004, he worked as lecturer in D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceuticals and Research. In 2004 to 2016, he worked as Assistant General Manager in Torrent Pharmaceuticals. Sir also worked as drug discovery scientist and lead drug discovery projects in therapeutic area of diabetes, metabolic disorders, COPD, and inflammatory bowel disorders. One of the drug is presently in phase 3 clinical development. Sir also played major responsibilities in drug discovery targets, design proof of concept studies, define hit and lead criteria, design and monitor preclinical efficacy and toxicity studies. Sir also prepare confidential and non-confidential dossier, publication of manuscript, and IND application. Sir also contribute to design of clinical trials, selection of primary and secondary clinical trials, estimating efficacy dose frequency, and early biomarkers. Currently, after leaving Torrent Pharma, Sir started a startup company that is Thincr Technologies India Private Limited in June 2016. The company developed its own 3D printers and presently involved in development of 3D printed pharmaceutical formulation. Now, Sir have 7 patents on his name, 18 publications in international journals, and also published 1 book chapter. Today, Sir is going to talk about 3D printing as a pharmaceutical research opportunity. This is a very novel area in which we all are interested. So now, I request Shitalkumar Zambad Sir to start the session.
Hello, good afternoon all. Am I audible?
Yes sir, clearly audible.
Hello, good afternoon all. Am I audible?
You are audible sir.
Okay. Good afternoon. So today I will present a webinar on 3D printing technology and research opportunities in pharmaceutical development. Before going actually on the topic, I would like to briefly introduce about our company and what we are doing in our company. This is not as a objective of advertising my company, but with respect to the today's topic, it is important to share what we are doing in this field. That's why I would briefly share you about my company. So our company Thincr Technologies, founded in 2016 with a tagline, Think, Innovate and Create. So this Thincr, THINCR, is derived from Think, TH from Think, IN from Innovate, and CR from Create. So With this tagline, we have started our company in 2016, and our company is recognized by Ministry of Commerce as a startup company. And we have devotedly worked in this 3D printing area for last more than 3 years. We gained in-depth knowledge in 3D printing technology and developed our own 3D printers, FDM type of 3D printers. So while developing, we have acquired knowledge about tweaking the hardware, firmware, and software parameters, and so that we have capabilities to customize 3D printers according to the product need. So that capabilities we have developed first. Then we have developed drug-loaded 3D printing filaments of various drugs: amlodipine, telmisartan, dextromethorphan, ibuprofen, and monoamine glutamate. We work on various dosage form, tablet dosage forms. So, with respect to this experience of our this field in for last more than 3 years, I would like to share my knowledge and experience in this field through this today's presentation. So the content of today's presentation will be what is 3D printing, which are the types of 3D printing. I mostly discuss on the FDM type of 3D printing process because uh, with respect to me, it's a most useful for pharmaceutical research purpose. And advantages and limitation of 3D printing, research advancement in the field of research in this field, and the research scope for pharmaceutical development. I would like to give demo of 3D printing of tablets through video, but due to some technical difficulties, I think I would not be uh, give you this demo of 3D printing, but the video is available on the YouTube. Our capabilities and how we can contribute to support the researcher in the pharmaceutical field who want to initiate the work in this area. So this will be content of my today's presentation. So before starting, what is 3D printing? I would start by 2D printing because all of you in the audience are definitely well aware about the process of 2D printing. We use this extensively in our day-to-day lives. So 2D printing, in 2D printing, there is a digital file which is present in the computer, for example, Word file, PDF file, or picture file. So that digital file, when we transfer to the printer by giving the command print, that digital file come into the physical form by spreading the ink on the paper in two direction, X and Y direction. So the ink is spread in the two direction, X and Y, and physical copy of the digital file come on the paper. So this process we all are well aware. So how the in 2D printing digital file is converted to physical paper print. So similarly in 3D printing, uh, we need to first design the object by using various 3D software digitally. So in computer, we are designing the object which we want to manufacture or we want to prepare. So that object is first designed using various softwares, CAD softwares like SolidWorks, CATIA, or other 3D CAD softwares. So after designing the 3D object, the file is converted into the STL file format, and that STL file format is transferred to the 3D printers. And 3D printers then, in the 3D printers, the material is spread by layer. Means in the first layer, the material is spread in the X and Y direction according to the shape of the object. And then once the first layer is completed, the next layer is formed. So the object is manufactured by layer. So one layer, second layer, third layer, as on the object is uh, formed. So here the material is spread layer by layer, but here one more axis is there, Z axis, by which the object took its height. So here in the following diagram, there is diagram. There is a this in the on the left side. There, this is the digital file, digital object, and uh, on the right side, the 3D printer is printing the object in the physical format. So 3D printing is a process of spreading the material layer by layer and forming the object according to the digital design of the object. So nowadays, this method is also known as a additive manufacturing, because the object manufacturing is taking place by addition of the material layer by layer, not the subtraction method, but the addition method. And that's why the this method is also known as the additive manufacturing. So what are the various types of 3D printing? There are three types of there are various types of 3D printing. One is the material extrusion method, in which the FDM type of 3D printers are most popular. FDM is fused deposition modeling. The second is material jetting or continuous inkjet 3D printers. Third is binder jetting printers. SLS or selective laser sintering printers. SLA are stereolithographic printers. So we'll go one by one on the various types of 3D printers, but I would mostly discuss on the FDM type of 3D printers. So first is a material extrusion or FDM type of 3D printer. Here there is a feeding assembly which feed the material in the form of filaments. There are flexible filaments which enters into the extrusion assembly. The feeding assembly transfer the material into the extrusion assembly. In extrusion assembly, there is a heater assembly and a nozzle. So the heater assembly molten the filament, and the molted material is then spread layer by layer through the extrusion nozzle, and the spreading of materials takes place according to the object geometry by layer, and the object is formed. So in in FDM type of 3D printer, object is built by solidification of deposited melted material, and the material used in this type of 3D printers are mostly the thermoplastic materials. So this is the detail of FDM type of 3D printing process, where first we need to design the object designing in the using the various CAD softwares. The 3D object is designed. This design object is then transferred to the various to the printing software. There are various printing softwares are available. This window is showing the Simplify 3D software. The other softwares are Cura, Rapid Host. These are the various 3D printing software. So the STL file format is transferred to the this printing software. In printing software, we can modify various printing parameter. For example, temperature, the layer height, object dimension. We can set up. We can change the speed of the printing speed. We can change the infill parameters. So the printing parameters can be set up in the printing software, and once all the parameters are set up, the file is then transferred from computer to the printer by through the memory card device, and then we can start the printing of the object. So for printing, we need the filament. This is the filament. This filament is formed by the extrusion method, means using the HME hot melt extrusion method. We can print the filament. This is the Thermo Fisher's Pharma 11 extrusion. So drug loaded filament can be prepared using this HME techniques. This filament is then fed to the printer, and once we give the print command to the printer, the printing of the objects takes place. Means the layer by layer spreading of the material took place according to the geometry. Takes place according to the geometry, and finally the object is formed. So these all pictures are from our company. So this is all about the FDM type of 3D printing. This is material jetting or continuous inkjet 3D printers. Here the material is in the form of a liquid and liquid or semi-solid. So this liquid material is deposited by the pressurized method, and the deposition of liquid takes place according to the shape of the object, and once the liquid is deposited, it gets solidified. Then binder jetting techniques. In binder jetting, there is spreading of the binder and powder, rolling of the powder over the deposited binder. So this is the extrusion assembly from which the binder is jetted and deposited on the surface. Once the binder is deposited, this roller spread the powder over the binder, and the objects get formed layer by layer. So once the one layer of the powder is spreaded, then the another layer of the binder is deposited. So, and once the binder is deposited, then again the powder is spreaded. So layer by the deposition of binder and powder took place layer by layer, and the object is formed. In selective laser sintering, the object is built by solidification of powdered material, and the powder material is spreaded, and that spreaded powder material is solidified, first melted and solidified by the laser beam, high energy laser beam. Then stereolithography, here the material is in the form of photopolymerized liquid. So photosensitive liquid material, and for example photosensitive resin material is used, and the laser beam is used to bind this liquid and solidify the liquid according to the object geometry. Now about the 3D printing field, how it evolved through last 4 decades. So actually the 3D printing get invented in 1980s. So in the first decade of invention of 3D printers, the application of 3D printing in bioprinting is claimed. So then in the next decade, in 1990 to 2000, the clinical application of biomaterial for tissue regeneration and 3D printed placebo tablet printing started. So here only the placebo tablet printed, because that times the pharmaceutical grade polymers which can be 3D printed are not available. So only the 3D printed tablet model has been prepared. The prototype model has been prepared. But actual pharmaceutical research in the 3D printing started after 2000. So in 2003, Aprecia Pharma started working on 3D printed formulation development, and in 2015-16, they have come up with a 3D printed tablet Spritam, which is marketed in the which is FDA approved and marketed in the US in 2015-16. The Spritam is a fast dissolving tablet, 3D printed tablet. So they have developed all plants, which is a 3D printing plant, and the Spritam tablets manufacturing at large scale takes place at their plant. So video of various videos of Aprecia Pharma are available on the YouTubes. You can refer those YouTube's video to see their development of 3D printed formulation. So what is the future of 3D printing in pharma? Mostly the application of 3D printing in the pharma is um, considered its ability to print desired shape and desired size of the tablet. So the tablet can be formulated as per the individual needs. So the customization of individual tablet is possible using the 3D printers, and that's why the application of 3D printing is mostly considered for the personalized 3D printed formulations. Besides that, there is possibility of printing a single tablet with multiple drug with varied release profile. So the multiple drug can be formulated in a single tablet with variable release profile. That is possible with the 3D printing. Sequencing of the drug release means a tablet can be formulated by sequencing the drug release. Means the one drug is released first, and then the other drug is released by time lag or like that. So that is possible using 3D printing. Then 3D printing can be clubbed with the electronic pill, because it is a new field, the electronic pill, where the release of drug can be controlled by the software. So that is possible using 3D printing. And 3D printing inverses the reduced manufacturing process. The manufacturing steps are less, and therefore it can reduce the manufacturing process steps, and thus it enabling the continuous manufacturing, because in within the next decade will be the transformation of the manufacturing plant into the continuous manufacturing plant. So that is expected, and for converting the plants into the continuous manufacturing process, it is prerequisite to have less number of manufacturing process. So 3D printing is therefore suitable for converting it as a continuous manufacturing process. Now, through next slide, I will go through the various updates on research in the pharmaceutical development. Here in this slide, there is an example of 3D printed tablet scaffold, which can be loaded with the polymeric nanocapsules. Here the 3D printed drug scaffold is used as a drug delivery tool for delivering the nanomedicine. First, the polymeric filament is prepared using the HME technique, hot melt extrusion technique. The filament of polycaprolactone, udrazit, and udrazit is prepared with and without channeling agent. So channeling agent used here is a mannitol. So this filament, which is prepared by hot melt extrusion, is then used to prepare a tablet scaffold using the 3D printing. So using the 3D printing, a porous tablet scaffold is prepared, and that porous tablet scaffold is then soaked into the nano capsule solutions, and that nanocapsule or nanoparticles are then embedded into the porous scaffold of the tablet, and the drug loading and the release patterns of the this 3D printed tablet is studied. So they have found that the drug loading was improved by the presence of the channeling agent mannitol. So here is the example of preparing the tablet scaffold for loading the nano medicine. In this example, they have prepared the modified release 3D printed tablet of paracetamol. They have used hypromellose acetate succinate polymer for filament. Means they have made the filament of hypromellose acetate succinate and paracetamol using the HME technique, and then that filament is used for printing the tablets. They have in the they have manufactured. They have made the two tablets. One is in A, where the 5% paracetamol is loaded in the filament, and in second example, that is B, they have loaded the 50% of paracetamol in the filaments. So the drug loading from 5 to 50% they have tested using this polymer, and after making the tablets by 3D printing, they have studied the release profile, and this paracetamol printlets shows the delayed drug release properties, and faster drug release was observed in the intestinal condition. So here there is a possibility of delayed release without enteric coating. So without enteric coating, there is a delayed release of the paracetamol takes place. This is the example of 3D printed aurodispersible films. Here, the researchers are prepared the aurodispersible film of aripiprazole. They have made the aripiprazole film using the 3D printing and casting methods. And both the drug release from both the drug release and mechanical properties of both the type of films are compared. So in the 3D printed aurodispersible film of aripiprazole, there is a amorphization of the aripiprazole, and the porous structure of printed film lead to the increased dissolution rate. So the drug release was higher in the 3D printed film due to its porous structure and the amorphization of the aripiprazole. Here there is an example of 3D printed controlled release drug delivery device. Here the concentration based compartment of tablets they have prepared. So they have made the drug loaded filament using the HME technique, PVA plus glipizide. PVA is used as a polymer and the glipizide is a drug. So two different concentration of drug is loaded into the filament. Here in the tablet there are two compartments. The outer compartment of the tablet is printed using the high concentration of using the high concentrated drug loaded filament, and the inner compartment is low concentrated drug loaded filament. And the outer compartment give the immediate release drug profile, and the inner compartment maintain the concentration of the drug in the plasma, and thus is act as a sustained release profile. So the sustained profile of drug concentration maintained in the plasma using this type of device. Here in this example, 3D printed multi-drug, multi-release tablets are there. So control porosity osmotic pump tablets of captopril and the sustained release nifedipine and glipizide separated by the joining layer. So here in the in this compartment, it is layered. The compartment outer layer is formed porous, so that and inside the compartment there is a captopril formulation, and due to osmotic pressure, the drug release from this compartment through this porous layer of the compartment. And these two compartments of nifedipine and glipizide are formulated with the polymer which shows the slow drug release. So the sustained drug release is formed. So in this formulation, captopril shows the zero order release, and nifedipine and glipizide shows the first order release. Here is the example of 3D printed 5-in-1 polypill. Here the tablet is made in two compartments. The upper compartment is of immediate release polymer, and in this upper compartment, ASA and hydrochlorothiazide formulations are incorporated. While in the lower compartment, which is of sustained release polymer is used is sustained release capacity. Here the atenolol, pravastatin and ramipil are formulated. So they give the sustained release compartment. So one compartment having a immediate release profile, and the another compartment is having the sustained release profile, and the 5 drug polypill is made, which is most useful in the hypertension and diabetic patients. Here is the example of 3D printed chitosan and pectin hydrogel wound dressing. Chitosan and pectin is cross-linked, and hydrogel is formed with the lidocaine. Lidocaine is the drug which is incorporated in the cross-linked chitosan and pectin hydrogel. This hydrogel is then extruded to form hydrogel scaffold, 3D printed hydrogel scaffold. This hydrogel scaffold is then lyophilized. So this is the lyophilized structure of 3D printed scaffold. And this 3D printed lidocaine hydrogel scaffold shows the good printability. It has dimensional integrity and self-adhesion to the skin. So the previous which I have shown were the examples from the literature. We have also worked in this field. We have designed various tablet shape like multi-compartment with variable compartmental thickness. We have formulated various drug-loaded filaments of drug like amlodipine, telmisartan, dextromethorphan, ibuprofen, monoamine glutamate. So these filaments are prepared at the Merck Life Sciences. We use their HME facility to prepare these drug-loaded filaments. The evaluation of filaments for physical properties, drug content, and drug release and printability is done. We have printed various types of tablet and different drug-loaded filaments with different drug-loaded filaments. We have studied the release profile, effect of infill, printing temperature, printing speed of formulation on various formulations variable. So these are the various parameters which we tweaked in the printer, and we have seen the effect of this parameter on the formulation variable like drug release profile, tablet weight. So in 3D printing, there is a freedom of geometry, and you can print various size and shape of tablets. Here is the example of printing the microneedles having minimally invasive delivery. So the microneedles are printed using 3D printers. The polymer used here is a PLA, polylactic acid polymer. So this researcher used and establishing the various application of 3D printing in the formulation development. It has various advantages like the size and shape, freedom, precision, and the accurate deposition of the materials. So these are the advantages, but the limit, it has some limitations like surface finish, because the material is spreaded layer by layer, and hence the depending on the layer thickness, there is a roughness of the surface. As minimum as the layer thickness, there is a smoother the surface. So the printers which has a capacity to print with a minimum layer thickness are giving the good surface finishing. Then build speed for the FDM type of 3D printers, the build speed is very less considering the pharmaceutical required throughput. The whatever available 3D printers, FDM type of 3D printers, their build speed is very less. But modifying the available 3D printer to high throughput is possible. It is just a mechanical development. Once the application of formulation is established, then the increasing throughput is just the mechanical work, and it is possible. It is already demonstrated by the Aprecia Pharma that they have developed a tablet with a very fast dissolution rate, and looking at that application, they have developed their plant, 3D printed plant with a required throughput. So that increasing throughput is a mechanical development work, and which is possible in today's scenario. Then feedstock filament means here the requirement is in FDM type of printer, the filaments needs to be drug loaded before actual tablet printing. So evaluating the various filament parameters and compatibility of polymer with the drug, and the melting point of the drug and the polymer. These are the various parameters which we need to uh, consider. Then anisotropic and the mechanical properties of the tablet. So anisotropic properties of the 3D printed tablets is the limit, one of the limitation of the 3D printing. So irrespective of this limitation, there is a continuous development happening in the area of 3D printed formulation development. In 2015, Aprecia Pharma is the first pharmaceutical company which submitted its FDA application and approved the marketing rights for marketing the Spretum tablet in the US. 2 years later, GlaxoSmithKline completed a study where inkjet 3D printing and UV curing were used to create tablet that treat the Parkinson's disease. The FabRx is another company who successfully completed the world's first in human clinical trial of their personalized 3D printed dosage forms to treat children with a rare metabolic disease. So, considering this field as a new field, there is a vast scope for research in the development of pharmaceuticals, 3D printed pharmaceuticals. Using the 3D printing, you can use formulate novel dosage forms. There is opportunity to print the novel dosage form with variable, uh, taking the advantage of variable shape, size, or release profile, or tweaking the release profile pattern. There is scope for using 3D printable pharma grade material research, because as of now there are very few material which has been evaluated for the 3D printability. There is a lot of scope uh, in this field of material research, because placebo and drug based filament we need to manufacture with various characteristics. So the according to the required characteristics, we need to select the polymer base. So the research in the polymer base is very it has a very much scope. Then research on totally new product design principle and changes to dose and dosage formed geometry. Means apart from the conventional size and shape, there is a scope for totally new design of the tablet or new design of the solid dosage form. New drug delivery device development is also possible using 3D printed. It can be used for as a tool for patent life extension of existing inventions which are going to expire in a coming year. So for those type of inventions, it is a useful tool to extend the patent life. And building the 3D printers for the pharmaceutical applications. Here is scope for tweaking with the 3D printers. Each product may require some customization of 3D printers. So in the 3D printer research is also there is a very much scope, means building a 3D printers with the pharmaceutical application. So these are the various field where you can work to research. So this is our 3D printers which we have built. We have here. We have built our own 3D printers. Till that, we have manufactured more than 35 3D printers of this type. So these are the outcomes of our 3D printers. We have designed various tablets and printed it using our 3D printer. This is the container we have printed using the 3D printer. These are the various tablets we have printed using 3D printers. For example, you can see in my camera video, these are the 3D printed tablets of amlodipine. These are 3D printed tablets of dextromethorphan. These are 3D printed tablets of telmisartan. These are a 3D printed tablet of placebo. And apart from the tablet, we have also printed various objects using our 3D printers. This is the foot bone, means tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges in a single piece are printed using the 3D printers. This is the example of skull, which is printed in our 3D printers. You might be seeing it. These are the various objects which can be used, which can be prepared using the 3D printer. So looking at this object, you can consider the freedom of shape and size which can be formed using these 3D printers. So size and shape, there is a sky is the limit of thinking in terms of modifying size and shape of the present formulation to enhance the output of the formulations. So in this slide, we have mentioned our capabilities with respect to developing 3D printed pharmaceuticals. We have SolidWorks Professional, 17 design software, printing software. Then we have the design capability. We can design various type of shapes or so. We have FDM type of 3D printers. We can manufacture the 3D printers. We can tweak with the software, hardware, and firmware with respect to the formulation need. Then 3D printing skill set. We have pharmaceutical research background, and we are keeping the continuous eye on the continuous happening in this field, and foresee the immense scope for integrating our skill set to develop the 3D printed formulation. So those who are thinking to enter in this field or who are new in this field, we can help them, and we are available to support them. We sell our 3D printers, or we can rent out our 3D printers. We can also provide our facility for the project, or you can use our 3D printers to have a hands-on 3D printers. We provide the training on the 3D printing. We make available the drug loaded filaments. If you need the drug loaded filament, we can make you available. We collaborate in research project. We are always there for sharing our experience and knowledge to resolve your queries. If you have any queries, that can be resolved. So thank you. This is about my topic, but we can go on our question answer session. So if you have any question, you can ask.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your excellent and very informative presentation. Now in stream, we have our one delegate. Welcome, ma'am. Introduce
Thank you.
yourself and ask your question.
Myself, Monica Ola.
Good
Uh,
afternoon, ma'am.
Monica, ma'am. Monica, ma'am, introduce yourself and ask your question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shital. This is Dr. Monica Rao. I'm from AISSMS College of Pharmacy. Thank you, sir, for giving this very nice, concise, and informative presentation. It is the need of the hour. This topic has been included in the MPharm syllabus. So it
Okay.
was really useful for all of us. So my question, there are two questions actually. First question is, sir, what is the scale of production that is possible with 3D printing? And secondly, what are the preliminary studies or trials that we have to conduct on excipients, and whether they are suitable for this technology or not, sir?
Yeah. I will first answer your second questions, and then we'll come to your first question, scalability. So first, I will answer what test or what evaluation we need to perform to see the with respect to 3D printing, we need to evaluate the drug and the polymer. We need to select the drug and the polymer, and uh, criteria for selection of and drug and polymer is it's extrudable. It should be extrudable. It should be printable. So the melting point of the polymer and the melting point of the drug, both are very important. Gas transition temperature is important. So these are the criteria which need to be selected. Then the release, what release profile you are expecting. Accordingly, you have to select the polymer.
So only a single polymer, or if I want to use multiple polymers, is it
Yeah,
possible?
means there are means you can use single polymer, and people have also used the multiple polymer also. For example, one of the paper where they have prepared the isoniazid tablet using the 3D printing. They have used the various polymers. For example, uh, hydroxymethyl cellulose and udrazit and PEG. So these three to four polymers they have used, and they have made 13 different combinations, and and optimized their release profile using these three to four polymers they have used. And they have loaded drug, and drug loading is also tested. So drug loading they have enhanced from 10% to 30%.
Okay.
So so there is possibility of using the multiple polymer also. Means people have used multiple polymer in a single formulation.
Okay, sir.
And the third question,
Regarding the
the question is
scalability.
the scalability. Uh, Definitely, the printers like we have, those printers are not the industry grade printer. Those are the just you can use for the research grade, where the 40 to 60 tablets can be printed in a 1 hour. So depending on your size and shape of the tablet, the time required will be different. So these are definitely the research. But the throughput, as I told earlier, the throughput, increasing the throughput is a mechanical development of the available 3D printers. The multiple heads 3D printers are available, or uh, speed of the printer, if the multiple heads are there, then the speed of the 3D printing can be enhanced. So for example, Aprecia Pharma already demonstrated that how the throughput can be increased at the uh, instrument development, that is the mechanical instrument development levels. So that is
Thank you, sir. That
possible.
was useful. That was
That
useful,
that
sir.
is
Thank you.
possible.
Okay, sir. Now, this is our second delegate. Welcome,
Yeah.
Monica ma'am. Introduce yourself and ask your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank you. Myself, Dr. Monica Ola. I am an assistant professor at R.C. Patel Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Shirpur, Maharashtra.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much. That was very nice session, and thank you also for conducting such nice topic or nice. All the sessions are so good. So my question is about the regulation. That is the first question. And the second question is, what about the transportation stress? Are they capable to handle? Because I suppose, or I had read whatever, that is when we are going for the doses form, which are made by the 3D printing, lesser disintegration time, lesser dissolution time, or within 3 to 4, within 1 second or 2 seconds, they started to get dissolved. Sorted out, or when if you're going for the large scale, can we work out on that?
Yeah, Miss, the Miss, your concerns are considering the traditional dosage forms, which took hundreds of years to come to this stage of development. And the 3D printing is very new technology, so definitely it will also take
Yes, sir.
some time to come to that stage. But definitely the basic research from the community of basic researchers like us will definitely take this field to that stage where the regulatory requirement and regulatory guidelines will be fulfilled. So it will evolve. It will evolve, and definitely the concerns which are there, for example, um, uh, this friability or
Yeah,
yeah.
probably.
So those are comes from the traditional formulations. Here might be some new challenges and new parameters need to be evaluated, but definitely friability is not a concern for the 3D printed formulations. Means most of the 3D printed, which are FDM type of 3D printed formulation, where the thermoplastics are used, the friability is not a concern for.
Okay,
But
sir.
definitely dissolution is a
Sir,
means
can you also provide?
your your voice is not clear.
Actually, sir, I am asking, can you please also provide a contact detail so that further in future, if we want to contact you, so that we can.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. We have our website, and the contact details are given there. The website is thinker-tech.com, and I already mentioned my contact detail on the slide also, so I can share with the organizer also. I can share my contact detail.
Okay.
Thank you, organizers, also.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, our next question is, what is and what approximated cost? This question is from Swarda Kamale.
Okay, the cost of formulation,
Huh.
means cost of final product. Uh,
Yes. And what is
yeah,
ink selection criteria?
ink selection criteria.
Huh.
Yeah, ink selection criteria already I have mentioned in the question that the previous question, where the selection of polymer is depend on the base polymer. Selection of base polymer depend on the printability and what actual characteristics you require, the release profile you require. Based on the release profile, you have to select the polymer, and then the polymer selected polymer should have the extrudability and printability. So those are the parameter, means the glass transition temperature and all those you need to evaluate. So with respect to cost of the formulation, definitely you are going to manufacture the novel formulation, novel patentable. You have to manufacture novel patentable formulation. So when there is a novel patentable formulation, uh, the important is not the cost, but important is the application. Whether you are giving a definitive edge over the available formulation or existing formulation. So for that purpose, you have to use the 3D printing. You should have
Okay.
edge over the existing formulation.
Okay.
Then cost is not uh, that much matter
Hmm.
with respect.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. And I hope, Swarda, ma'am, you got your answer. Now, sir, our next question is, can herbal or plant-based extract can be used in formulation using 3D printing? Because herbal extracts have presence of fibers. This is question from Zishan Fernandez.
Yeah, means if the pure extracts are there, it is possible to incorporate into the 3D printing filament. We have already incorporated the monoamine glutamate, which is a natural material, into the filament. So that is possible. But if
Yes.
the fibers are present, then it may cause the clogging of the nozzle. So the fibrous natural product is not possible. But if the pure
Okay.
extract is there, then it is possible.
Okay. Okay. I hope, ma'am, you got your answer. Thank you, sir, for answering the questions. Actually, there are number of questions, but due to time restriction, we will take only few questions. And thank you, sir, on behalf of Sinhgad Institute of Pharmacy, Narhe, for sharing your valuable time with us.
Yeah, I
Uh,
would also like to thank organizer, respected Bodhra sir, and the Amol sir and team.
yes, yes. Sir, should we conclude the session?
Yeah, ma'am, we can conclude. Thank you.
Yes. So now here I declare the today's session is over. I once again thank to our speaker, our faculty members, our students, and our participants. Today only we will meet sharp at 5 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.